All right, good morning. Today we're going to cover a very important topic, going from 5 to over 25 sales a year. If you're doing less than 25, obviously want to focus and try to figure out what's missing. If you're doing already 25 and you want to add the 25 sales every year into your production, which obviously is going to require a lot of work and a big commitment from you, you want to listen to this session. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And we're going to also post this session on YouTube if you want to make any comments. We will continue next week as well with the same topic of discussion, because this is not something we can cover in a short video. So let's start. I just want to talk to you about, this topic is incredibly important for real estate professionals that are looking to take their business to the next level and be consistent and get good results every year, not just having like one good year and then 2-3 years that follow through with a decrease in production. You want to increase production year by year, and you want to understand how to continuously doing it. So it's not just about reaching 25 deals a year. It's about keeping adding 25 transactions a year. And in order for that to happen, you will, at a certain point, need to grow your business by bringing in more people on your team. So the challenge of scaling your business, if you're stuck around 5 sales a year, which most realtors are, more than 80% of realtors are stuck between 5 and 10 deals a year. Just know that you're not alone. The majority of people around you in your office and other offices is exactly the same level as you are. Many realtors hit that wall struggling, to break through. It's not easy to break through the 10 transactions a year, but once you do that correctly, understand what's missing, which I'm going to cover today, 4 different steps that I wrote down, why most people are stuck at less than 10 deals a year. The 4 main reasons, number 1, is lack of effective lead generation, not enough lead generation. So the majority of people are busy servicing their leads if they have leads. And if they don't, normally people just sit and wait for someone who knows them to call them and request their help in real estate. It's not enough to post stuff on social media. We're talking about effective lead generation, which I'm going to break it down into a couple of different steps for you today. The next thing we need to talk about is time management issues. Managing your time correctly is crucial. If you want to go, to the next level, we're talking 25 plus deals a year. If you reach 25 this year, next year, you could very easily exceed 40 and then add. So we're looking into adding, hopefully, 25 sales to your production. If you did 5 last year, let's do 30. If you did 10, let's do 35. And so on. If you did 25, let's go to 50. So there's always the next level, and there's always something missing in your current situation that's holding you back from bringing you into the next level. Time management is one of those things. The next thing I wrote down here is inconsistent follow-up. So yeah, people follow up, but not enough or not good enough. And what is a good follow-up? We'll talk about that as well. The 4th thing that's standing in the way is, I think, the most important subject to have a discussion about, and we probably should have a discussion about that one whole session, which is really mindset challenges. Mindset. Everything is mindset. Everything that you're going through is really connected somehow to the mindset that you have. And we'll cover that as well, A to Z, in the session. Let's begin. Today, we'll try to cover at least the first 2. So let's begin with that. The number 1 we're talking about is actually something you got to do as soon as possible, which is nail your lead generation. Get it done and do it correctly. Okay, the first step in mastering lead generation, to grow your sales, you need to have a consistent stream of qualified leads. And if you don't have it, you're going to have issues. It will be impossible for you to grow your business. In order for you to be able to close 25 transactions, you need to put together at least minimum 25 transactions. Some of them might fall apart, so you might need more than 25 to close 25. You got to start by diversifying your lead source. It cannot just be social media. It cannot just be postcards. It cannot just be one or two things. It needs to be a bunch of different things happening all at the same time. The most important thing to cover is active prospecting. Active prospecting. We're talking about two kinds of active prospecting. One is phone prospecting, and the other one is door knocking. Calling on behalf of buyers, cold doors on behalf of buyers, going after for sale by owners, expired listings, investors for rent by owner, doing farming, offering free home evaluation reports. There's so many different ways of doing active prospecting that it's really endless, and there's no reason for you to be stuck without taking action daily to make that happen. Okay, you should spend the majority of the day, every day, on this topic. The majority of the day for anyone at any level should be spent on active prospecting. This is what's going to give you deals. It's what's going to create qualified appointments for you. And this is really what's standing between you and your next level. I don't know how many deals you did in the last 12 months, but if you did less than 25, you're missing a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about here. If you're doing over 25, but you're stuck, if you've been doing in the last 2-3 years the same, more or less the same production, and you want to go to the next level, what's holding you back probably is active prospecting. So this topic is something that the majority of real estate professionals are struggling with. The next thing is obviously everybody is doing some portion of utilizing social media and messaging. So we're talking about platforms like Instagram and Facebook, LinkedIn. These obviously can help you connect with potential clients and show your properties and your listings. Just listed, just sold. All of that stuff is great, and it needs to be done regularly, consistently. You want to share success stories from your clients, market updates. You want to maybe share some testimonials and all that stuff that's actually building credibility for you on social media. Another component of social media, which is very important, is actual messaging, private messaging. So it's almost like texting. So you can chat with people on social messaging, if it's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and other platforms as well. Also, another platform that you should utilize is YouTube, doing all kinds of different videos in your market, speaking about, you can do a screen share and share some of MLS data, or create some forms, Excel sheets, etc., talking about what's your market doing, and then maybe record once a month the session. So there's so many different ideas and things that got to take place. The challenge again is you want to spend the majority of your day on active prospecting. We're talking phone calls and door knocking. These are the two that we consider as active prospecting. If you're not doing that and you're just buying leads, you're missing a huge component. And that's probably why you're not consistent and not doing enough deals. So it always goes back to what's going on with your active prospecting. Are you doing any? What do you do more, phone calls or door knocking? And very few people that I speak with and I meet, very few, like percentage-wise, maybe 5%, that are engaged in some sort of door knocking scheduling. Very few people are heavy door knocking. And that's really, in my opinion, today, when everyone is zigging, you want to be zagging. Everyone, even 20 years ago, before internet days, most people try to avoid door knocking. It's hard work. And that's why the majority of people would avoid it. But because it's hard work and because everybody's avoiding it, I am highly recommending you to focus on it, because that's where the money is. A 2-day event that is called Door Knocking Riches, how to get rich with door knocking as a real estate agent. And we're going to cover 2 days of door knocking, explaining to you exactly what needs to be done, how it's done. I'll share with you postcards that you should take with you. We're going to have some scripts. We're going to have script practice as well. What to say when you get to the door, handling objections, rejections, you name it. We're going to cover A to Z. We're going to get a booklet of over 100 pages with information about door knocking, how to do it correctly, and then how to really bring that to the next level and make sure that you guys are closing at least 25 sales a year. In the majority of markets, 25 sales a year means that you're probably making over $200,000 a year. Not a bad income to have. In some markets, 25 deals means that you're doing over $1 million. So it really depends what the price range is and how much activity is taking place in your market. We're also going to cover how to choose the right area to door knock. All of that coming up in a door knocking reaches, I believe it's in November. I'll give you guys the dates later on. We're also going to have it again in springtime. So we do one in the winter and one in spring, just to prepare you guys, to make sure that you guys are going out there and you're not missing out on the greatest opportunities of door knocking. In addition to social media, we're also talking about referrals. And referrals, obviously, most agents focus on past clients, center of influence, and getting referrals from people. If you want to add 25 sales, I'll give you an example. If you have 500 people in your database that you're constantly in touch with, say, you're calling them at least 4 times a year, you're sending them something in the mail, minimum once a month, just this is just sold, they're including all your postcards, they're including all your texting, social media, you're hitting them from all different angles. And then you do door knocking and you go do some visits about 4 times a year every quarter. Okay, if you do that, you're going to get a lot of referrals and you could grow your business from 250 easily in 2-3 years of doing regularly. Your database should have over 500 people. You continue to do that, you get to 1,000. When you have 1,000 people in your database with people that know you, you can create a real damages. That's 50 closings a year. 5% of the total number of contacts that you have in your database should be your goal, okay? Your transaction goal from past clients to center of influence. So if it's 1,000 people, we're talking about 50 deals a year that can be done inside your database. You don't have 1,000 people, how do you get there? You get there by doing what we spoke about: door knocking, cold calling, social media, and then working on your database, referral business. The next thing is networking events and local businesses. You want to visit local businesses, share your business card, help them in their business, maybe help them get some clients, help them get some customers, advertise, promote their business, even on your social media. When you're promoting a business and you're sharing that promotion with the business owner, send them a link to the actual post so they can see that you're working hard to grow their business. They'll do the same for you. So you need to build some strong relationships with local businesses. For example, your nail salon, your hair salon, your accountants, your architects, your attorneys, your favorite pizzeria, your favorite restaurant, your favorite coffee shop, your favorite gym, you name it. You can just build relationships like that, and you can gain, from each business, you can gain 2, 3, 4, 5 sales a year. If you got yourself 10 businesses that you're working, trying to help them grow in the local area, you got 10 more businesses helping you grow yours. And that's what I mean when I say networking. So remember, active prospecting is when you actively go out there and you're doing something deliberately. Visiting businesses and networking with local businesses is one of those things. Door knocking is one of those things. Visiting for sale by owner, expired listing, and for rent by owner. Going into a new construction site and having a chat with the construction people, having a chat with the site manager or the owner if he's there, speaking with investors, meeting investors at networking events. All of that stuff done actively will grow your brand and will help you get a lot more contacts. It's all about making contacts. What I love about door knocking is you can decide how many contacts you're going to make. And just for you to know, you want to add 25 sales a year to your business, you got to make minimum, and I'm talking 6 days a week, minimum 25 new contacts every day. If you're just starting out, or if you're doing 5 to 10 deals a year, and you want to do like a relaunch and really go big, I recommend everyone 6 days a week. This is not going to be easy. 6 days a week, 50 contacts every day, 50. You go out with a free home evaluation report, postcard, and you go door knocking. We'll speak about this in door knocking reaches. I'll teach you exactly how this thing is done. All right, so we covered the first one. Which is nailing your lead generation, making sure that you're generating leads. Generating leads every single day, 2, 3, 4 new leads, then you need to do follow-up on the leads. The second thing I want to talk to you about is time management. If you're not managing your time correctly, you will not be able to prospect enough and your schedule will be all over the place. So time management and prioritizing of activities should be top mind. You gotta focus. What's your goal? 50 contacts a day, great. How are you going to achieve that? Door knocking and cold calling, great. How are you going to do that? Who are you going to call? Which businesses are you visiting today? Which neighborhoods are you going out to? Do you have your postcards with you? Okay, you got your sneakers on, dress with a nice business attire, go out there, smile, and do your door knocking. Go get your 50, and then you go out there. How do you do that? You're scheduling it, putting on your schedule, and then you need to master your schedule by time blocking. So you got to time block and prioritize these activities. You don't do that, by the way, it's not going to happen. If you're not prioritizing, deliberate prioritizing, okay, you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you exercise, you come back, you meditate, you relax yourself, you eat breakfast, you drink a lot of water, great, get dressed, ready for the day, you're out there, role play with a role play partner. Now it's 7:45 in the morning, you're out, start door knocking. Your goal is 50 contacts. So your goal is not to go out and every door you want to schmooze for 30 minutes. You want to go, say what it is that you got to say on your script, shake hands, give them your postcard, and continue to go to the next door. So time blocking, if you're not going to block your time to do that, it's not going to happen. You need to time block minimum 4 hours in the morning, take a break, and then between, say, 12 o'clock, have lunch, take a break, rest a little bit, an hour. Then you're going to do some follow-up calls. You're going to do all your follow-up calls. You're going to do some, if you have any meetings, emails, returning, social media posting, all that stuff need to happen before 4 p.m. 4 p.m., you're going out again, and you continue with door knocking. So if you follow my door knocking plan, you're going to do minimum 25 sales a year. Okay, and if you follow my plan, that's guaranteed. There's nobody that I know that actually doing 50 contacts every day on the program and they didn't get at least 25 sales. Most of them surpass 50 sales a year, because if you do 50 a day, 6 days a week, that's 50 closings a year. Now, we're not talking about the 50 that I'm mentioning to you right now, by the way, is happening only through active prospecting. We're not even talking about referrals and repeat business that's coming your way. Okay, that's, you guys can do a lot of deals if you are willing to manage your time and prioritize the activities that we're talking about. So time blocking is important. And then you want to delegate and automate whatever can be delegated and automated. For example, postcards can be delegated, can be done for the whole year. You can do your postcards right now for the next 12 months. You can automate it. You can also automate social media postings. So there's a lot of stuff you can delegate and automate in order for you to be able to be out there. If you need to lead generate and you want to spend about 7-8 hours a day on lead generation, which is what you should do, 7-8 hours a day lead generation, and you only stop when you have a listing presentation or a buyer consultation. It's the only time that you stop to prospect. That's how you're making money. I mean, there's no other way. I don't know any other way of making money in this industry. But if you're going to be lead generating all day like a machine, and you're going to make your 50 contacts every day, 6 days a week, within 30 days of doing that, you're going to have a breakdown, because you're going to have so many leads that you need to follow on and so much business coming to you that you're going to start getting confused. And by the way, that's why coaching, one-on-one coaching I'm talking about, is necessary, because you're going to start creating some breakthroughs which will create breakdowns. Without a coach, you're not going to be able to do that. You might do some aggressive plan for a week, 2 weeks, and then once you're going to start getting busy, you will stop the aggressiveness on the lead generation, which will bring you back down to where you started. You need somebody on your side to not just show you what needs to be done and hold you accountable, but to make sure that you're not confused and you're not dropping your production because you're in a chaos. You're all over the place. You need to know when to hire people, who you should hire, what personality style they should have, what kind of delegation you're going to do, how to train them to replace you. There's a lot of work that needs to take place, and you're not going to be able to achieve that by yourself. All right, number 3, follow up like a pro. So many realtors miss out on many deals just because they really don't follow up effectively. They don't know how to effectively follow up. They make the same call, saying the same stuff, kind of, I don't want to push anybody to make decisions. And, it becomes a weak approach. And that is a big problem. And, it's not going to, if it takes 5 to 7 times and you're calling 2 times, you're not getting there. There's something missing. So think about this for a second. All the prospecting that I just spoke about, 7, 8 hours of lead generation a day, 6 days a week. The time that you have left, it's got to be spent on follow-up. That alone, after about a week of doing this, 2 weeks of doing that, you're going to start getting listing appointments. You're going to start getting buyer consultation sessions where you need to sit down and sign a buyer and exclusive agreement. That's where you're going to start making money. The thing is, you don't want to stop lead generation. So prioritizing is key, because if you're not prioritizing and you're not going to make sure that lead generation continues to happen on a regular, on a consistent, persistent basis, if it's not going to happen, you're going to have some issues. Following up like a professional, make sure you know how to do the follow-up in such a way that you're calling every single lead minimum 5 to 7 times. I'm saying calling, I'm also talking about showing up, because some of the follow-up is going back to the door, okay? Going back to the door, meeting with the seller again, giving them the free home evaluation report, having a discussion about it. All of those things are, different. It's all included in your follow-up system. So you got to create a follow-up schedule, and you want to reach out to all the leads over time. So this is going to take time. It depends on what the lead told you. Okay, each lead needs a different follow-up plan. Then you want to leverage also a CRM. Okay, you want to use a customer relation management tool. There are so many of them out there. I don't want to make any recommendations. There's so many of them. I mean, it's endless. You can just go. If you don't have one, you should get one. Okay, it's going to cost you anywhere between $50 and $200 a month, depending on how crazy the CRM is. But you can become very successful with the most basic CRM. But you need one, because you want to automate a lot of stuff, and you want to have some pop-ups showing up as far as follow-up goals. If you want to follow up correctly, you can't remember. When you're making so many contacts, as I'm telling you, 50 contacts a day, 6 days a week, that's 300 contacts every week. 300 contacts. You need to follow through each and every one of those contacts. If you're making leads, generating leads, now you need to follow up on all these leads. You're going to start accumulating a lot of leads, and you need to know how to follow up on all of them. And you cannot stop following up, because when you stop to follow up, someone else is going to do that and take away your listings. So you need to leverage a CRM, having a coach on your side to make sure that you do the right follow-ups, holding you accountable, giving you ideas, asking you questions, holding you accountable. I mean, it's all about accountability and looking back at what you're doing. Hey, did you call that guy? Did you call this person? What about the lead from last week? What about the 3 leads we were doing, this plan and that plan? So there's always something going on. You're going to be extremely busy, and follow-up is so crucial that if you're not doing it correctly, you're going to fail. It's simple. It's simple. If you don't do this thing correctly, you're going to fail. Doesn't mean you're failing, you're not selling. Okay, you will do a lot of sales. If you're doing 50 contacts a day, no matter what's going to happen, and even if you suck in your follow-up system, you're still going to do a lot of transactions. The problem is you're generating so many leads. We don't want you to lose the business that you've been working so hard to generate. And if you're not going to do a good follow-up, you're going to lose leads. Okay, they're going to do business with someone else. So you got to be extremely focused. Everything has got to be written down. You cannot miss any notes that you're writing down. You need to know exactly what's going on with every single lead that you're creating. And then every follow-up needs to have its own notes. You need a CRM. All right, the next step is shifting your mindset. Mindset is something we need to talk about in a different call, because there's a lot to say here. We can't really cover all of that right now. I just want to give you a few reminders. First of all, I think everybody should register to Door Knocking Riches. Okay, we will release the link for you guys to register. It's going to be a 2-day event on a Tuesday, Wednesday, sometime in November, in mid-November. We'll spend 2 mornings together from 8 o'clock until about noon, and then from 1 to 3, I believe. The 2 days are 2 full days with homework. And then you need to hit the street and start working. So there's going to be a lot of work coming after that. We're going to send you to do some work for about the first, I think it's 1.5 quarters. So we're looking at about 5 months of work. And then at the end of the 5 months, we're going to do another door knocking reaches for you to relaunch this thing. And the second time will be much easier, and you're going to get insane results. You do this in the next 12 months, you're closing 50 sales. But there's a lot of work coming up. So I want to have a discussion about why coaching is key to scaling your business. So you can already see how much work is involved over here. Without having accountability, and I'm talking weekly, strong weekly accountability, conversations, one-on-one, what's going on? Tell me what happened last 7 days. Okay, we're going to see exactly where you're not doing enough, what's missing. We will catch you doing things wrong and correct you and bring you back on the right path. Accountability is extremely important. You're not going to be able to hold yourself accountable. It just doesn't work that way. So it's easy to set goals, but it's much harder to actually stick to them, especially when things get tough and when you get busy. If you're going to start doing what we're talking about over here, you're going to get busy so quickly that you're going to get overwhelmed. Those of you that followed my system, you already know you're going to get overwhelmed fairly quickly. So having a coach on your side is going to assure that you're staying on track, you follow through all of your commitments, and you don't lose sight of the large vision and point B of where you're trying to reach. Okay. Another thing is customizing your strategy. Your strategy has to be, I mean, you make mistakes here, you're going to lose a lot of leads. And trust me, you don't want to lose a lead. If you went on the street yesterday for 8 hours door knocking and you created 2 leads, and now because you forgot to call them because today you had to do another 8 hours and you had follow-up calls from last week and then more things happen, oh my God, I forgot to call. You don't have the right strategy. You're not delegating, you're not automating, you're not creating the foundational systems that are needed. You're not going to be able to sustain this long term. And that's why you're going to have breakdowns, and breakdowns sometimes throw you right off. I know people who closed 30 transactions in a year, and then the following year they did 7 transactions or 3. That happens to a lot of real estate agents. Why? Because the strategy is not correct. So you want to strategize with a coach as well. And this is really the coach's job, to help you develop a customized strategy that works specifically in your market and for the niche that you're trying to achieve, whatever it is, the goals that you're trying to achieve. Whether you need help refining your marketing plan, negotiating skills, so many different things, negotiating deals, handling objections, refining your disc profiling, versatility, there's a lot of stuff here. So you need to work with someone hands-on to help you become successful. Number 3, mindset mastery and confidence building. When you have a coach on your side, they're going to make sure that you're confident. They're going to make sure that your mindset is there. They're going to make sure that you're waking up early and go to sleep early. Hold you accountable to do the entire thing. Look, this becoming successful in this business is going to require you to do things you never did before. It's a big commitment. I'm talking major blast throughout the entire year. I'm not talking major blast for 1 month and then go to sleep for 3 months. I'm talking, let's do a crazy schedule for the next 12 months and close 50 sales. 50 sales. That's what door knocking reaches is all about. So if you need a little bit more information, we will release probably next week the dates, the times, and how to register, the price, and everything in addition. If you need one-on-one coaching, you can book one that is free, which is the first coaching call you're going to have, is a free coaching call where we're going to sit down, figure out what your goals are, and then put a plan together for you to achieve it. Okay, so you don't need to worry about payments, etc. We also have pay as you go. There's different things. You can check everything on my website, and we do offer 2 different one-on-one coaching programs if you cannot make a commitment for the weekly. If you have any questions regarding that, feel free to ask. I'm going to do right now an open microphone if you guys have any questions regarding this session.